One. Upcoming first race, a conditioned pacing event. The purse $7,500. These are the pacers for race number one. Number one, betting on Bobo, owned by Joan Harmon, Norman St. Clair, and Michael Foley, driven by Matt Thurn. Number two, Cousin Tumbleweed, owned by Dixon, Yulee, Accardi, and Joyce, driven by Tato Day. Number three is Cheyenne Toby, owned by Jay Benny, the driver Bruce Ranger. Number four, Levi at Play, owned by Mark Reynolds and Richard Cortese, driven by Sean Gray. Rocks Your Socks Off, number 5, owned by Gail Harris, driven by Drew Campbell. Number 6, WAINAPEDIA, owned by Michelle Harden, Kevin Switzer Jr. driving. And number 7, Redford Hanover, owned by Mike and Julia Eaton, Robert McHugh, and first race pacers lining up and moving in. This field is in motion. And the gate moves onto the backstretch. First race pacers and behind the gate. They're off and pacing from the inside. Betting on Bobo tries for the lead. There goes Cheyenne Toby, showing good early speed. And it's Cheyenne Toby who comes away with the lead. Up on the outside, Levi at Play. Down inside, Cousin Tumbleweed comes away racing third. Betting on Bobo is fourth, gap of 2 lengths. Rocks Your Socks Off, followed by WAINAPEDIA. And true on the field, that's Redford Hanover. Paddock turn the first time. Here comes Levi at Play, and Levi at Play takes command. Quarter time goes in 28-1. They're in the stretch for the first time. And Sean Gray has Levi at Play showing the way, driving up on the outside. Here comes Bruce Ranger with Cheyenne Toby. And Cheyenne Toby on the outside takes back the lead. Levi at Play back to second, followed by Cousin Tumbleweed at the pylons in third. Gap of a length and a half to Betting on Bobo at the pylons in fourth. Gap of 2, Rocks Your Socks Off, followed by WAINAPEDIA. And way back through on the field, a sluggish Redford Hanover. Halftime goes in 56-3. They straighten out down the backstretch. Cheyenne Toby on top here. Cheyenne Toby at 5-1 with the lead. Levi at Play, tucked in, right there in second. Cousin Tumbleweed towards the inside, a close at third. Betting on Bobo racing in fourth. They continue on down the backstretch. And it's Cheyenne Toby. Off stride goes Levi at Play. Levi at Play, the 2-5 favorite, has gone off stride. 3/4 here in 126 flat. They're on the final turn. It's Cheyenne Toby showing the way from between horses. Here comes Betting on Bobo. 3 wide Cousin Tumbleweed as they round the final turn. And Betting on Bobo takes command. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home. And Betting on Bobo cuts the corner with a 3-length lead from between horses. Cousin Tumbleweed far outside. Grandstand side, it's WAINAPEDIA. Deep stretch, it's going to be Betting on Bobo in front. WAINAPEDIA up for second. Cousin Tumbleweed was third. Time for the mile, 1:57.1. Will stand as posted. Race 2 pacers lining up and moving in. This field is in motion. And the gate moves on to the backstretch. Race 2 pacers in behind the gate. They're off and pacing from the inside. Pembroke Ranger tries for the lead. There goes Is a Horse, showing sharp early speed far outside. A Sweet Bit of Luck comes away racing third. Sure You Can has dropped in fourth. Gap of a length and a half to Vaquero fifth. Then comes Major Town, a link back to If I Was a Betting Man. And trailing the field, that's Hollywood Demon. Paddock turn the first time. It's Pembroke Ranger on top. Pembroke Ranger shows the way by a length. Is a Horse right there in second, as they pace by the opening quarter in 28 and 3, and as they come out of the stands for the first time. Mike Raffam has Pembroke Ranger at 6-1 on the point. Is a Horse right there tracking in second. Vaquero towards the inside, up on the outside. Here comes Vaquero. A Sweet Bit of Luck now locked in, followed by Sure You Can. Major Ted, If I Was a Betting Man, and on the field, that's Hollywood Demon. The ace swing around the clubhouse turn. It's Pembroke Ranger in command. Here comes Vaquero moving up on the outside. Is a Horse boxed in towards the inside, followed by A Sweet Bit of Luck at the pylons in fourth. Halftime goes in 59 and 2. They straight out down the backstretch. Pembroke Ranger, and he's got the lead. Is a Horse right there in hot pursuit. Racing in second, up on the outside on the rim. Vaquero third. A Sweet Bit of Luck towards the inside is fourth. Second over Major Ted. Sure You Can locked in. Hollywood Demon now trailing the field. If I Was a Betting Man. 3 quarters here in 128 and 2. They're on the final turn. Pembroke Ranger continues to lead. Is a Horse with a clear shot. Racing in second. Shaking Loose on the outside. Here comes A Sweet Bit of Luck. Racing in third. They're at the top of the stretch. And turn for home on the grandstand side. It's Is a Horse coming on to get the lead. Is a Horse takes command on the grandstand side. Here comes A Sweet Bit of Luck. It's going to be A Sweet Bit of Luck with the lead. A Sweet Bit of Luck coming on. Time for the mile, 1:58 and 2. Returning to the winner's circle, number 6, A Sweet Bit of Luck. A 3-year-old big gelding by Western Maverick. Gotta Be Passionate by Grin From Ear to Ear. Owned by Philip McKenzie, trained by Heidi Gibbs. Driven to a new lifetime record by Ron Cushing. A Sweet Bit of Luck pacing the mile at 1:58 and 2. Race 2 is official. These are the paces for race number 3. Number 1, Mock Me One More. Owned by Joe Przowski, driven by Bruce Ranger. Number 2, My Nina Bonita. Owned by Jeff Epstein, driven by Kevin Switzer Jr. Number 3 is Art of Wiggling. Owned by Scott Renz and Dr. Holly Guastelli, driven by Scott Renz. Number 4, Lillian Rose. Owned by James McCassie, driven by Sean Gray. Mineroni and Cheese, number 5. Owned by the Michael Goldberg Racing Stable, driven by Jay Randall. Number 6, She's a Fireball. Owned by Ron Cushing and Lance Downs. Ron Cushing driving, and number 7, Tempera Hanover. Owned by the Seafood Delight stable, Nick Raffam in the sulky. This field is in motion. And the gate moves onto the backstretch. Third race pacers in behind the gate. They're off and pacing from the inside. Mock Me One More strides out for the lead right alongside. It's My Nina Bonita. 3 wide. There goes Lily and Rose. Down inside. Art of Wiggling comes away fourth. Length back towards the inside. She's a Fireball. Followed by Mitteroni and Cheese. And true on the field, that's Tempera Hanover. Paddock turn the first time. Rolling up on the outside. Here comes Lillian Rose. And Lillian Rose draws clear. She leads it by a length over Mock Me One More. Opening quarter on the board goes in 28-1. They're in the stretch for the first time. And Sean Gray has Lillian Rose on the point. Mock Me One More right there. Tucked in a snug second, followed by My Nina Bonita. Advancing on the outside, here comes She's a Fireball, locked in. Art of Wiggling, followed by Tempera Hanover. And true on the field, that's Mitteroni and Cheese. As they swing around the clubhouse turn, it's Lillian Rose with the lead. Motoring up on the outside, here comes She's a Fireball. She's a Fireball on the outside now, second. Locked in towards the inside, Mock Me One More. Halftime goes in 58-1. They straighten out down the backstretch. It's Lillian Rose, 3 parts of a length. She's a Fireball right there on the outside. Those two now heads apart. Mock Me One More chasing in third up on the outside. Tempera Hanover on the rim. Racing in fourth. Boxed in towards the inside. It's My Nina Bonita. 3/4 here in 127 flat. They're on the final bend. Lillian Rose, 3 parts of a length. She's a Fireball right there on the outside. Those two stride for stride. Down inside, Mock Me War racing in third. They're at the top of the stretch. And turn for home on the wide side. It's She's a Fireball who puts ahead in front, battling back towards the inside. Lillian Rose. It's Lillian Rose. She's a Fireball on the outside. At the wire, it's going to be Lillian Rose in front. Time for the mile, 1:57.4. Returning to the winner circle, number 4, Lillian Rose, a 4-year-old bay mare by Time to Roll. Out of up front, Sharon by American Ideal. Owned and trained by James McCassie. Driven to victory by Sean Gray. Lillian coming fourth race. A condition pacing event. The purse $12,000. One Six-Finger Freddy, owned by Randy Bickmore and Teresa Colston, driven by Nick Raffam. Number 2, Paddy All Day, owned by Catherine and James Carl Smith. And Mark Levine, driven by Drew Campbell. Number 3 is Salvador's Son, owned by David Del Pozo, the driver Kevin Switzer Jr. Number 4, Noah's Play, owned by Dominic Longobardi, driven by Bruce Ranger. Uncle Joe T, number 5, owned by the Fox Ridge Stable, and Carol Zemko, driven by Wally Watson. Number 6, Pembroke Hattrick, owned by Mike Raffam and Judith Ambrose, driven by Sean Gray. Number 7 is Bailey's Legacy, owned by Bruce Inch, Stephen Wilson driving. And number 8, Magnum Force, owned by John D'Antonio Jr. Mike Stevenson in the It is now post time. The horses are approaching the starting gate. Race 4 paces lining up and moving in. This field is in motion. And the gate moves onto the backstretch. 4th race pacers in behind the gate. They're off and pacing mid-pack. There goes Uncle Joe T. Uncle Joe T quickly out for the lead. Down inside, Six Finger Freddy. Penny All Day is dropped in 3rd, followed by Salvador's Son in 4th. Length back to Noah's Play. Then comes Pembroke Hattrick, Bailey's Legacy, and trail in the field, Magnum Force. Paddock turn the first time. Uncle Joe T on the front end, showing the way by a length. Six Finger Freddy right there in 2nd. As they pace by the opening quarter in 28 2, they're in the stretch for the first time. And Wally Watson has Uncle Joe T at 4 5 on the point. Right there in 2nd, Six Finger Freddy. Length back in 3rd, Paddy All Day, followed up by Salvador's Son. Length back, Noah's Play. Next in line, Pembroke Hattrick, Bailey's Legacy, Magnum Force at the back of the pack. They swing around the clubhouse turn. It's Uncle Joe T in command, pocket trip. Six Finger Freddy right there, racing in 2nd. Motoring up on the outside, racing 3rd. Here comes Noah's Play. Noah's Play moving up on the outside, now 3rd. Halftime goes in 59 3. They straighten out down the backstretch. Uncle Joe T continues to lead. Noah's Play on the outside. Towards the inside, Six Finger Freddy. Those two heads apart, 2nd and 3rd. Paddy All Day chasing in 4th up on the outside, capping his cover. Pembroke Hattrick locked in towards the inside. It's Salvador's Son. 3/4 here in 1, 28 2. They're on the final turn. Uncle Joe T with the lead. Noah's Play on the outside. Six Finger Freddy towards the inside. Length back to Paddy All Day, covered up, racing in 4th. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home, and it's Uncle Joe T. Sit down for the stretch drive. Shaking loose on the outside. Here it comes Six Finger Freddy. Six Finger Freddy on the outside. Towards the inside, Uncle Joe T at the wire. Uncle Joe T in front. Time for the mile, 1:57 flat. Here is the order of finish. Number 1, Six Finger Freddy was 2nd. Paddy All Day 3rd. Salvador's Son 4th. Noah's Play was 8th. T 6th. Magnum Force was 7th. Top down at 2, 3, 4, 8, 1, 5, 6, 7 on the bottom. Time for the mile, 1:57 flat. This field is in motion. And the gate moves onto the backstretch. Race 5 pacers and behind the gate. They're off and pacing from the inside. Corner to Beach sent down for the lead. Far outside, there goes Sylvia Trench. From between horses, Hired Luck down inside. Kitty Hoyne, gap of 2 lengths to Katie Caught. Followed up by Twin Bee Friendly and trail in the field. That's for Chip's Sake. Paddock turn the first time, rolling up on the outside. Here comes Sylvia Trench, and Sylvia Trench comes on to get the lead. Hired Luck right there in second. Opening quarter on the board goes in 27-3. They're in the stretch for the first time, driving up on the outside. Here comes Hired Luck, and Bruce Ranger puts Hired Luck on top by a length. Sylvia Trench backs off in second. Corner to Beach right there, chasing in third. Ground saving fourth, it's Kitty Hoyne, followed up by Katie Caught, Twin Bee Friendly for Chip's Sake at the back of the pack. They swing around the clubhouse turn. Hired Luck on top here, shown by a length and a half. Sylvia Trench is second. Halftime goes in 56-3. They straighten out down the backstretch. Hired Luck continues to lead. Sylvia Trench is second. Gap of 2. Corner to Beach towards the inside, racing third. Up on the outside, Kitty Hoyne, followed by Twin Bee Friendly towards the inside. Katie Caught, and still true in the field. It's for Chip's Sake as they round the fourth turn. Hired Luck looking to make it 2 in a row. She leads it by 2. 3/4 here in 125-1. Around the final turn, Hired Luck opens up by 2, 2.5. Sylvia Trench giving chase. Racing in second up on the outside. Racing third, Kitty Hoyne. 3 wide from the back of the pack. It's for Chip's Sake racing in fourth. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home. Hired Luck set down for the stretch drive. Down on the inside, Sylvia Trench. It's still Hired Luck, Sylvia Trench. In deep stretch, it will be Hired Luck in front. Sylvia Trench was second. Kitty Hoyne third. Time for the mile, 1:55-1. Driven to victory by Bruce Ranger. Hired Luck pacing the mile at 1:55 1/5. Cornered Beach was fourth. Kitty Hoyne third. Second. For Chip's Sake was fifth. Top down of 4.36. 7.12. 5 on the bottom. Time for the mile, 1:55-1. Moving on to race number 6. In race number 6, there will be exacta, trifecta, and 20-cent Wicked I-5 wagering. Fillies and mares. The purse, $10,000. The Michael Goldberg Racing Stable, driven by Sean Gray. Number 2, Runaway Girl, owned by Alexander Quintanas, driven by Mike Stevenson. Number 3 is Checkpoint Chatter, owned by the Upland Farm, driven by Drew Campbell. Number 4, Crown Straight, owned by Nicola Oliva, driven by Kevin Switzer Jr. Just Call Me Minnie, number 5, owned by William Phipps, driven by Matt Thurn. Number 6, Peppermint Mocha, owned by Paul and Rosalie Vaca, the driver Jim Hardy. Number 7 is Sarah Tancredi, owned by Mike Raffam, driven by Nick Raffam. Number 8, Frills and Lace, owned by Mike Eaton Jr., Bruce Ranger driving. And number 9, I Am Wonder Woman, owned by Wally and Lisa Watson, Wally Watson in the sulky. Making their way back to the starting gate. And the gate moves onto the backstretch. Race 6 pacers in behind the gate. They're off and pacing from the inside. A checkpoint chatter goes out for the lead. Far outside, there goes Sarah Tancredi. Also on the move, it's Peppermint Mocha. Comes away racing third. Just Call Me Minnie has dropped in fourth. A length back to Line 'Em Up. Then comes Runaway Girl. Gap of 2 lengths to Crown Street. Down inside, that's Frills and Lace, and Trill in the field, it's I Am Wonder Woman. Opening quarter on the board goes in 28 seconds flat. Passing the stands for the first time, rolling up on the outside. Here comes Just Call Me Minnie, and Just Call Me Minnie comes on to get the lead. Peppermint Mocha on the outside. Towards the inside, Sarah Tancredi now back to third. Line 'Em Up underway on the outside for the locked in. Checkpoint chatter, gap of 2. Runaway Girl. Then comes Crown Street. Frills and Lace, and Trill in the field, it's I Am Wonder Woman. They swing around the clubhouse turn. Battle up front. Just Call Me Minnie down inside at Peppermint Mocha right there on the outside. Those two heads apart. Halftime goes in 57 seconds flat. They strain out down the backstretch. Just Call Me Minnie with a short lead. Peppermint Mocha right there up on the outside. 3 wide. There goes Line 'Em Up. Line 'Em Up moving up on the outside. 3 wide now second. They round the far turn. On the wide side, Line 'Em Up. Towards the inside, Just Call Me Minnie. Followed by Sarah Tancredi chasing in third. 3 quarters here in 125 and 4. Around the final turn, Just Call Me Minnie hanging tough. Line 'Em Up right there on the outside. Those two toe-to-toe up on the outside, sweeping up 3 wide. Here comes Sarah Tancredi. Sarah Tancredi on the far outside, gaining ground with every stride. They're homeward bound, 3 of them across the track. Just Call Me Minnie. From between horses, Line 'Em Up on the grandstand side. Sarah Tancredi. Sarah Tancredi, Line 'Em Up at the wire. Line 'Em Up coming on. Time for the mile, 155 and 4. Returning to the winner's circle, number 1, Line 'Em Up. A 3-year-old brown filly by Betting Line. And of Zellweger Blue Chip by American Ideal. Owned by the Michael Goldberg Racing Stable. Trained by Jeff Lieberman. Driven to a first lifetime victory by Sean Gray. Driving double. Are on the track for the upcoming 7th race. A conditioned pacing event. The purse $12,000. Pacers for race number 7. Number 1, So It Goes, owned by Brian Lamb and Mona Dodd, driven by Nick Raffam. Number 2, Western Thunder, owned by Kathleen Brewer, driven by Kevin Switzer Jr. Number 3, Alex Having Fun, owned by Kimberly Vafiatis, driven by Drew Campbell. Number 4, Jackie Geeson, owned by Jay Benny, driven by Bruce Ranger. Touch of Character, number 5. Owned by Darrell Tibbetts, driven by Stephen Wilson. Number 6, Garrett's Drama, owned and driven by Jimmy Whittemore. Number 7 is Rockin' the Show, owned by Tato Day and Lori Dupuis. Tato Day driving. And number 8, Marcus Silster, owned by the Jesmerel Stable, Sean Gray, and the Sulky. Post. This field is in motion. And the gate moves onto the backstretch. 7th race Pacers in behind the gate. They're off and pacing from the inside. So It Goes. Going out for the lead. Right alongside, it's Western Thunder. Alex Having Fun joins them on the outside. Far outside, Rockin' the Show. Down inside, Jackie Geeson. There goes Marcus Silster moving up on the outside. Length back to Touch of Character, and true on the field, it's Garrett's Drama. Paddock turn the first time. Alex having fun on the front end here, shown the way by a length and a half as they pace by the opening quarter in 27-3. They're in the stretch for the first time. And Drew Campbell has Alex having fun on top, driving up on the outside. Here comes Marcus Seelster. So it goes, racing third. Western Thunder at the pylons fourth. A length back to Rockin' the Show, gap of 2. Jackie Geeson, Touch of Character. And true on the field, Garrett's Drama as they swing around the clubhouse turn. Alex having fun, 3 points of a length parked out. Marcus Seelster locked in towards the inside, so it goes right there, racing in third. They're halfway home at 55-4. They straighten out down the backstretch, and it's Alex having fun. 3-5 favorite on top, 3 points of a length. Marcus Seelster on the rim. So it goes towards the inside, racing third up on the outside. There it goes. Jackie Geeson, second over and fourth, locked in towards the inside. Western Thunder up on the outside. It's Rockin' the Show. Alex having fun is opened up by 2, 3/4 here in 124-2. They're on the final turn. Alex having fun strides out to a 4-length lead. So it goes towards the inside, racing in second. On the outside, it's Jackie Geeson third. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home, and they're all chasing Alex having fun, who is long gone. So it goes second with Jackie Geeson coming down to the wire. It's all Alex having fun in full command. So it goes was second. Jackie Geeson third. Time for the mile, 1:53-2. In a circle number 3, Alex having fun. A 4-year-old big gelding by Rock and Roll Heaven. Out of Arterra by Arts Place. Owned and trained by Kimberly Vafiatis. And driven to victory by Drew Campbell. Alex having fun, pacing the mile in 1:53 2/5. Race 7 is official. Here is their 5th. Alex having fun, your race winner. Jackie Geeson third. Touch of Character was 7th. Garrett's Drama 4th. Rockin' the Show was 8th. Marcus Seelster was 6th. Top down at 251, 37, 48, 6 on vent for fillies and mares. The purse $15,000. Owned by Jessica Smith, driven by Kevin Switzer Jr. Number 2, Maverick Fiber, owned by Carolyn Corso, driven by John Nason. Number 3 is Royalty Again, owned by Richard Knight, driven by Drew Campbell. Number 4, Rockin' Ellie, owned by the Just Enough stable and Mike Gerard, the driver Bruce Ranger. Unstoppable Hall, number 5, owned by Stephen Ripka and Ryan Block, driven by Sean Gray. Number 6, Mouthwatering, owned by the Jackie Green stables, Ron Cushing driving, and number 7, Sweet Sue, owned by David and Christine Tebow and Robert and Julia Withers, Jim Hardy in the sulky. The starter has called for the horses. Peyton moving in. This field is in motion. And the gate moves onto the back stretch. 8th race, Pacers in behind the gate. They're off and pacing on the far outside. A Sweet Sue going out for the lead. Also on the move, there goes Rockin' Ellie. Down inside. Royalty Again comes away racing third. Sweet Styles settles in fourth. Gap of a length and a half to Maverick Fiber, followed by Unstoppable Hall. And true on the field, that's Mouthwatering. Paddock turned the first time, rolling up on the outside. Here comes Sweet Sue. Sweet Sue on the outside. Rockin' Ellie down inside those two. Heads apart. Quarter time goes in 27-2. They're in the stretch for the first time. On the wide side, here comes Sweet Sue, and Sweet Sue comes on to get the lead from Rockin' Ellie. Now back to second. Sweet Style right there, racing at third. Royalty again towards the inside, moving up on the outside with a rush. Here comes Unstoppable Hall. Maverick Fiber, and true on the field. It's Mouth Watering. They swing around the clubhouse turn. Sweet Sue in command, up on the outside, advancing. Here comes Unstoppable Hall. Rockin' Ellie boxed in towards the inside third. Halftime goes in 57-2. They straighten out down the backstretch. And Sean Gray puts Unstoppable Hall on top by a length. Here comes Mouth Watering, moving up on the outside on the attack, racing in second. Sweet Sue back to third, up on the outside, racing in fourth. There goes Sweet Style. They round the fourth turn. Saratoga Raceway Invader, Unstoppable Hall, at 3-5 with the lead. Mouth Watering giving chase. Racing in second, 3/4 up in 126 flat. They're on the final turn. It's Unstoppable Hall, and she's got the lead. Mouth Watering right there giving chase. Racing in second, gap of 5. Sweet Sue towards the inside is third. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home. Unstoppable Hall shows the way on the outside. Mouth Watering coming down to the wire. It's all Unstoppable Hall over Mouth Watering. Deep stretch. Unstoppable Hall in front. Mouth Watering was second with Royalty again third. Time for the mile, 1:55.3. Returning to the winner circle, number 5, Unstoppable Hall. A 4-year-old bay mare by American Ideal. At a Marietta Hall by Cam Best. Owned by Stephen Ripka and Ryan Block. Trained by Stephen Ripka. Driven to a new lifetime record by Sean Gray. That's a driving triple hat trick for Sean Gray. Unstoppable Hall. Pacing the mile at 1:55.3. JERICHO Diva, owned by Jennifer Safford, driven by Drew Campbell. Number 2, Hilaria, owned by Ralph Anderson, driven by Mike Stevenson. Number 3, Sarah's Lilly, owned by the Muku stable, driven by Jay Randall. Number 4, Rise Red Rocket, owned by Linwood Higgins, the driver Matt a third. Western Step, number 5, owned by Diane Dunn, driven by Nick Raffam. Number 6, Happy Heart, owned by Thomas McTeague and Melissa Beckwith, driven by Bruce Ranger. Number 7, Arrival, owned by Jessica Smith, driven by Kevin Switzer Jr. Number 8, First Up, owned by the Jesmeriel stable, Sean Gray driving. And number 9, Avery Sealster, owned by Catherine Nason, John Nason, and the Sulky. The Pacers are making their way back to the starting gate. This field is in motion. And the gate moves onto the backstretch. Ninth race Pacers in behind the gate. They're off and pacing from the inside. There goes JERICHO Diva out for the lead. Right alongside Hilaria. Rise Red Rocket joins him on the outside away third. 4 deep into the first turn. There goes first up, down inside. It's Sarah's Lily on the outside. Avery Silster, followed by Western Step. Gap of a length and a half to Happy Heart. And to trail on the field, it's Arrival. Opening quarter on the board goes in 27-4. They're in the stretch for the first time. Coming on to get the lead, Rise Red Rocket, and Rise Red Rocket draws clear. Hilaria second. Jericho Diva third. Light back and forth. First up, followed by Sarah's Lily. Next in line, Avery Silster to the outside. There goes Western Step, followed by Happy Heart and Tron the Field Arrival as they swing around the clubhouse turn. Madathorn has Rise Red Rocket on top by a length. Right there, Hilaria is second up on the outside. Advancing. Here comes first up now third. Halftime goes in 56-4. They strain out down the backstretch. Rise Red Rocket continues to lead. First up right there on the outside. Hilaria trapped in towards the inside, racing third. Sarah's Lily up on the outside, second over. Covered up towards the inside, Jericho Diva. They round the fourth turn. First up on the outside, puts a nose in front. Rise Red Rocket battles back towards the inside there, stride for stride. 3/4 here in 125-4. They're on the final turn. Rise Red Rocket is game. First up, right there on the outside. Those two heads apart up on the outside. 3 wide. Here comes Sarah's Lily at 50-1. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home towards the inside. Rise Red Rocket first up on the extreme outside. Here comes Western Step, gobbling up ground, and it's going to be Western Step coming on. Time for the mile, 1:55-3. And the horses are on the track for the 10th race finale, a conditioned pacing event. The purse, $10,000. These are the paces for race number 10. Number 1 is Keystone Micah, owned by William McIlvaine Jr., driven by Bruce Ranger. Number 2, Pembroke Pirate, owned by Don Gauthier, and Ralph Anderson, driven by Mike Stevenson. Number 3, Winning Line, owned by the Michael Goldberg Racing Stable, driven by Nick Raffam. Number 4, Corporal Cole, owned by Joe Bradeen and Mike Cushing, driven by Stephen Wilson. Son of Plato, number 5, owned by Catherine Nason, driven by John Nason. Number 6, McBeantown, owned by Milton and Zachary Vickerson, driven by Drew Campbell. Number 7, Latin King, owned by William Phipps, Matt Thurn driving. And number 8, My Better's Dell, owned by David Del Pozo, Kevin Switzer Jr. in the sulky. And the starter has called for the horses. The pacers are making their way back to the skin. This field is in motion. And the gate moves onto the backstretch. Nightcap Pacers in behind the gate. 10th and final here at Plainridge Park. off and pacing from the inside. Pembroke Pirate steps out for the lead. Moving up on the outside. There goes MCBEANTOWN. As they drive into the first turn, it's MCBEANTOWN on the outside. Also on the move, Son of Plato down inside. Pembroke Pirate racing in third, length back to Keystone Micah. Followed up by Winning Line. Gap of a length and a half to Corporal Cole, Latin King, and on the field, My Better's Dell. As they pace by the opening quarter in 28 and 2, they're in the stretch for the first time. And Drew Campbell has MCBEANTOWN on top by a length and a half. Son of Plato right there in second. Pembroke Pirate a close at third. Keystone Micah ground saving fourth, followed up by Winning Line up on the outside. There goes Latin King, trapped in towards the inside. Corporal Cole, My Better's Dell, trailing the field as they swing around the clubhouse turn. MCBEANTOWN on top by a length. Pocket Trip, Son of Plato with a rush on the outside. Here comes Keystone Micah. Keystone Micah on the march on the outside at third. Halftime goes in 58 and 2. They straighten out down the backstretch. MCBEANTOWN still with the lead, but here comes Keystone Micah on the attack on the outside now second. Boxed in toward the inside, Son of Plato racing third. Pembroke Pirate up on the outside underway, second over and fourth. They're on the far turn. MCBEANTOWN has been there every step of the way. Takes them by 3/4 here in 1:26 and 4. They're on the final turn. It's MCBEANTOWN, and he's got the lead. Keystone Micah right there on the outside. Racing in second, Son of Plato towards the inside. Up on the outside, Pembroke Pirate racing in fourth. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home. It's MCBEANTOWN down on the inside, digging in. Here comes Keystone Micah bearing down on the wide side. Keystone Micah, MCBEANTOWN. MCBEANTOWN, Keystone Micah, their heads apart at the wire. Too close to call. Time for the mile, 1:56 and 4. Returning to